Hello, lovelies. And guess what? It's hump day. I don't know why I just said it that way, but it is Wednesday. Hello, lady in gray. Welcome in. Guys, I am Terry True Crime, and welcome to Midday Missing, where we highlight current missing person cases that need more attention. Now, we do go live every Monday and Wednesday at noon Central. Now, before we get started today, guys, I have to share with y'all, I am failing at life today. So if you're new here, you'll find out how in a minute. So you see this lovely thing of water? By this time, I should be right here. I'm way up here. And I have to drink 3 of these a day. Um, I'm failing. And guess what? The reason why is because I don't like drinking out of this thing. I prefer my cute little plastic wine glass. But then when it goes empty, I don't refill it. It's just a whole thing. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about why we are really here. Now, before we get into today's 2 cases, I want to let you know, in case you haven't seen it on social media yet, that the 8-year anniversary episode we were going to do for the disappearance of Chase Lackey, we are postponing due to the tragic floods going on here in Texas. The Lackey family and everyone here at True Crime in One Time, our hearts hurt for all of the families that are going through this tragedy, people who've lost their loved ones, their homes, but also those who are still searching for their loved ones. So we want to send our hearts out to everyone and to let you know we will give you an update of when we're going to do that. Probably going to put it off until August, considering July is almost over. Now, today, guys, we are going to head on over to Arkansas. And the one thing I like about Arkansas, I can say probably 95% of the names from Arkansas. So it makes me feel like I'm somewhat intelligent. Okay. Now, guys, it was a quiet Sunday morning in the foothills of Clinton, Arkansas, where 38-year-old, not where, but when 38-year-old Chelsea Brooke Woods vanished without a trace. Chelsea lived alone in a small rustic cabin tucked into the wooded hills of Van Buren County. She had recently moved there seeking peace and a place to heal. Chelsea was a mother, a daughter, a niece, described by family as kind hearted, affectionate, and deeply loved. She was also living with bipolar disorder and experienced challenges related to her mental health. Guys, that is a very common diagnosis. So if any of you out there start jumping on the bandwagon, saying anything, I'm going to just tell you to zip it because millions of people live with bipolar disorder. One of my loved ones does. And guys, it is a real thing. Okay. Now, her family, especially her mother, Sherry, and her aunts, Tracy and Renee, were closely involved in her life. They knew her pattern, they knew her rhythms, and guys, they knew something was wrong almost immediately. The last conversation Chelsea had with her mother has haunted the family ever since. Now, 2 days before she disappeared, Chelsea told Sherry, Mama, I just want to let you know if anything happens to me, I love you. Guys, that one statement makes my heart shatter into 1,000 pieces. As a mom, as a human, a person, oh, I just can't. Now, on the morning of August 28th, 2022, at 7:03 a.m., Chelsea called 911 from her cabin. She told dispatchers that she was afraid. She believed someone was inside her home. Now, the dispatcher noted that she sounded distressed. When deputies arrived, Chelsea was outside, visibly upset and reportedly clutching a large knife. Now, according to law enforcement and later reports, Chelsea was in the middle of a mental health crisis. She told the deputies she didn't feel safe and she refused to speak to anyone but a specific officer that she trusted and one who sadly was not on duty that morning. Instead of staying with the officers, Chelsea fled. She ran into the thick woods behind her property. Despite attempts to locate her quickly, she vanished into the dense Arkansas brush. She would never be seen again. Okay, guys, why did officers just quickly try to locate her? Why just quickly? If someone is in mental distress, having a crisis, why wouldn't you do more? I'm asking, okay, I'm not throwing judgment. I'm just asking, is there something that prevents them from doing that? Because as a human, my thought would be to run after them, especially when they have a knife. They could hurt themselves. Isn't that an immediate danger to themselves and to others? Guys, anybody? Because I really don't know. Okay. Now, 3 days passed, and then a welfare check was conducted after her family couldn't reach her. 3 days? Why did law enforcement not try to get in touch with the family? Why? Guys, why? Why? Okay. Now, officers arrived at her cabin. The front door was wide open. Her beloved cat was inside unattended. Her purse and her phone were missing. Okay, guys, when they went the day she called 911, was the door open? They said she was waiting outside. Did they make sure the door was shut? Did she come back? Has she come back? My little ADD brain is just going 90 to nothing. I I just have so many questions, okay? Search crews combed the area near her home. A few of her personal items, her driver's license and some clothing, were found scattered along a nearby trail, but there was no sign of Chelsea. She was gone. Now, law enforcement classified Chelsea's case as an endangered missing person. Her family, however, feared something far worse. Despite initial beliefs that Chelsea had simply gotten lost during a mental health episode, questions remained. Why had she sounded so specific and frightened during the 911 call? Who was she referring to when she said someone was inside her home? And guys, what exactly happened in those few minutes between speaking to deputies and vanishing? Guys, did the deputies go in her house? Did they confirm that there wasn't someone in the home? I I have so many questions, guys. Now, in the months that followed, Chelsea's family organized their own searches. Over 100 volunteers joined in one community led effort. In March 2023, a coordinated search involving Van Buren County Sheriff's Office, search dogs, and volunteer teams swept the area again, covering more than 5 square miles of rugged terrain. Another search was conducted in December 2023 with similar intensity. Guys, there's still no trace of Chelsea emerged or found during those searches. Her family has been vocal in their frustration with the investigation. In interviews, her Aunt Tracy Hale stated, "Everything has felt messed up from the beginning to the end. We have no answers." Aunt Tracy, I totally hear you and I see you because I have those same questions. The family has also questioned whether enough urgency was applied early on, especially given Chelsea's mental health condition and the fact she ran off in visible distress. Like I said, guys, did they make sure nobody was in her home? Did they not think that a woman who was visibly upset, who was holding a knife, wasn't a concern? That, to my understanding, is what a 5150 is for. They are an immediate and present danger to themselves and to others. Why did they not try to apprehend her? Okay. They continue to urge anyone with information, no matter how small, to come forward. In August of 2023, a vigil was held at Buckenberg Foursquare Church near Clinton to mark the 1 year anniversary of Chelsea's disappearance. Her mother's aunts and young son gathered with candles, prayers, and posters. They repeated the same message they've said since day one. We won't stop looking, not until we bring Chelsea home. If you have any information, no matter how insignificant it may seem, please contact the Van Buren County Sheriff's Office at 501 745 2112. Guys, share her story, post her image. We will post it on our Midday Missing Facebook page. Someone out there knows something. And guys, your voice could be the one that finally brings her home. Chelsea was a mother, a daughter. She was a woman in crisis. She didn't just disappear. Guys, even if she ran off into the woods in her own accord, something nefarious could have happened. She was apparently in a very distressed state. Okay. Someone saw something, someone heard something. Let's be the community that helps families like hers find peace. Okay. If you know of or you have a loved one missing and you're interested in having their story featured on an upcoming episode, or if you want to join us for a live interview, you can contact Amy, our assistant producer, by emailing her at amy@tcwtmedia.com, or you can email me, terry@tcwtmedia.com. Or, guys, you can send us a DM on our Facebook page or on any of our social medias. Um, Hello, Dope Meditations. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, Kelly P. Now, guys, I'm going to take a drink because, as I mentioned at the top of the show, I am a failure today. And I also failed to turn my phone off, but it is the Blend of Seven Winery where we are doing our live show this weekend, but I will call them back. Okay, guys, I'm going to warn you. This next case, it hits hard. Okay. All of our cases are heartbreaking. They're hard, but something about this next one, I don't know. It hit me hard, and I am going to try to tone Terry down. Okay. I'm giving you my promise. I will try to tone me down. Okay. On the morning of July 11th, 2024, just a year ago, guys, 42-year-old John Brent McGhee was dropped off by his mother at a cousin's home in Leachville, Arkansas. He had no phone, no money, and no vehicle, just the clothes on his back, a light blue t-shirt, khaki cargo shorts, and a pair of Hey Dude shoes. 20 minutes later, he walked off and he has never been seen again. Now, John was affectionately called Brent. He was a tall man, guys. He was 6'4" and around 175 pounds, with hazel eyes, brown hair, and distinctive tattoos like loyalty that was tattooed across his chest and carpe diem on his forearm. He was known for his sense of humor, his protective nature, and the deep love for his children and family. But in the months leading up to his disappearance, his personal life had been unraveling, most notably his strained marriage. Oh, guys. Okay. Uh-oh, Kelly P. Kelly P just said she's missing her future husband. I can't find him anywhere. Help. Hey, Kelly P, maybe we should talk on the down low because I do headhunting, recruiting. I am open to doing a search for you to try to find the man of your dreams. Okay, let's get back to Brent. Now, Brent and his wife had been staying at his mother's house just after the 4th of July. The morning he vanished, the two women had an argument. I mean, come on, guys. Mother in laws, wives, it happens. Trust me. Now, they said it was nothing major, okay? It was enough that she stormed out. Brent left soon after, and then he was taken by his mother to his cousin's house nearby. That brief visit, just about 20 minutes, was the last confirmed time anyone saw him. Now, guys, the following day, in a sequence that raised alarm bells, okay, for many, me here, I got so many red flags. Brent's wife checked herself into a battered women's shelter, despite there not being any record of domestic abuse or police intervention. Okay. I couldn't find that any family, friends either said that she had disclosed this to them before. Okay. Then, almost immediately afterwards, she entered a mental health facility where she remained for several days. Now, upon release, rather than returning to her home or showing concern for her missing husband, she moved in with a longtime male friend, a man Brent had trusted deeply and who had even walked her down the aisle at her wedding to Brent. Now, guys, I want to stop and say, there is no shade for if you are a victim of domestic violence going to a shelter. There is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with you going in to get mental help. I just found it interesting. 99 points, I don't know how many times, there's at least some indication or people suspect there's some type of abuse. Okay. But not everyone reports it. That's not the big red flag for me. Okay. That's not the big red flag for me. What I am about to tell you is going to tell you where my red flags come from. Okay. This same man who walked her down the aisle to marry Brent, wildly rumored to be her boyfriend, became a focal point of concern for Brent's loved ones. Community members and family pointed out that scent tracking dogs brought in by the family lost Brent's trail directly in front of this man's house. And she moved in with him instead of going back to where they were. Hello, Polly Prissy Pants. Aw, Dope Meditations. Thank you for that gifted membership. Guys, without a warrant, the dogs were not allowed onto the property, and that potential lead went cold. Now, I need someone to explain to me why the police did not get more involved at this point. I mean, dogs don't lie. Okay. Dogs don't lie. And I would think if a certified tracking dog finds this man's scent, that the police would do something. Okay. I mean, now Brent's family, particularly his sister and his mother, immediately sprang into action. They contacted law enforcement, organized search parties, and even hired private investigators and scent dog teams. Despite 15 search operations and mounting circumstantial evidence, Brent remained missing. Now, inside a home connected to the case, luminol testing reportedly revealed traces of blood. Now, some believed it may have stemmed from a prior injury Brent had suffered. Others feared it was something much worse. Either way, the family collected samples and submitted them only for the evidence to sit in an evidence locker for weeks, too long for viable forensic results. The opportunity was lost. Guys, what they're saying is they didn't store it correctly in the evidence locker. Okay. They didn't. I mean, they didn't. I don't I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Even more troubling, rumors circulated that a close friend of Brent's had a vehicle totally crushed for scrap metal just days after Brett was reported missing. Guys, it was a vehicle the guy had recently purchased. Law enforcement reportedly took zero action to stop it or process that vehicle for evidence. Once again, why? 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 Oh, dope meditation you were trying to gift, Kelly. That is so sweet. Now, I, oh, dope meditate. Hold on. Okay, we're going to get right back to Brent. He says maybe he should take you out instead then. Okay, we're going to table that because we're going to need to go over the Discord. We might need to work on that, okay? Now, guys, to date, Brent's disappearance remains an open missing person case, but his family says they have seen little meaningful action. One detective is working with the family, but requests to elevate the case to the state level have been denied. A petition asking for the U.S. Marshals or state investigators to take over continues to circulate. Now, I have signed the petition and we will share it here in the chat. If one of the mods could grab it, I dropped it over into mod discussions on the Discord. I would like to ask everyone to go and sign the petition. Let's help get this family the justice they deserve, and let's help get the state police or the U.S. Marshals involved in this case. Okay. Now, the Leachville Police Department has not released any public updates suggesting leads, suspects, or new evidence. Now, according to advocates, the family has provided more actionable information than law enforcement has pursued. Guys, unfortunately, we hear that too often in missing person cases. And that's why it is so important to me and to everyone at TCWT Media that we share stories and try to get the word out there. I would like to think it's that law enforcement's just overwhelmed, but I've also had officers tell me they hate working missing person cases. And I can empathize with them because I used to not want to cover missing person cases because they break my heart. But you know what? Someone has to speak up for these people. Okay. Now, the emotional toll is immense. Brent's sister, who shares a birthday and a lifelong bond with him, has carried much of the investigation herself, collecting evidence, chasing down rumors, even conducting her own luminol test in search of answers. She is a freaking rock star, okay? She, along with Brent's mother and a growing community of advocates, have begged authorities to take stronger, faster action. Their pleas are echoed across social media with the hashtag Justice for Brent. Okay. The disappearance of Brent is more than a mystery, guys. It is an ongoing trauma. It is a wound that stays open every day he remains missing. And as the months pass, now a year, the pain for his family deepens, not just because he hasn't come home, but because they feel they've had to become the investigators, advocates, and caretakers of a case that should have been prioritized from day one. Guys, one day when I win the lottery, I don't know if you've seen the show Tracker or Found. That is what I want to do one day. I want to help families. I want to be able to research and look for the missing full time, but I have to keep a job so I can pay the bills. Hello, Scott Metalhead. Welcome. Welcome. Now, guys, I'm going to try to do this next part and not cry, but I wanted to share a post I found on his daughter's page from July 10th, just last week. I'm not going to share her name. Um, it was an open public post, but I would like to read it to you. First of all, she cracks me up the way she starts. I know I'm not an old granny and I don't post on Facebook, but there's a lot more people on this platform than anywhere else. Girl, I am an old granny and I appreciate you putting it on Facebook, okay? She goes on to say, tomorrow will be a year since my dad, John Brent McGhee, went missing with little leads, but nothing is enough to even question people. You'd think by now something would have been done, but it hasn't. No, we don't know exactly what happened or who happened, maybe I should say, but I do know it's enough. Something could have been done, especially for a man who worked for the city. You'd think someone would do something, but they didn't. If this were anyone else, someone would have did something. But no, he's just a dad, a son, an uncle, a cousin, a brother. Just like everyone else, except he don't have those crazy titles. At this point, I don't care if the awful people sit in prison for the rest of their lives. They can roam the streets free as long as they'd like. I would just like to know what happened to him and have a body that we can bury. Unlike regular people mourning for death sitting at a gravesite, we can't do that. His family just has to sit here and think of all the possible scenarios. We don't get to bring flowers to a grave on his birthday or Father's Day, or just get to go sit and talk to him. We just sit here and hope. But as it says in Luke 12, 2-3, there is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed or hidden that will not be made known. Eventually it will come out, and I pray every day that that day comes soon. Thank you all for reading. Please keep John Brent in your prayers. Hashtag justice for Brent. Girl, I see you. I hear you. Reach out to me. I would love to talk to you and learn more about your dad and maybe put you in touch with some of the organizations that we've met along our Midday Missing journey and maybe put you in touch with some resources that can help you. My heart hurts for all of you. And to those of you who know something, anything, there is still time to do the right thing because she is right. The truth will come to light. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but it will come to light. And silence helps no one. Silence actually protects the perpetrator, doesn't help the victim, doesn't help the victim's families. In my book, if you know something and you're keeping it quiet, you're an accessory and are just as accountable. Okay. If you once called Brent a friend, or if you've heard something that could help, even if it's a rumor, please come forward. There is still a chance to be part of the truth. Now, you can call the Leachville Police Department at 870-539-6713. If you want to remain anonymous, you can still go to fbi.gov/tips and anonymously submit the tip. You will just need to give them his full name in case they're not investigating the case. You can also DM us, make a fake Google email address, whatever, and send it to us. We will be happy to scream and shout and get that information out there. Brent McGhee is a son, a brother, a friend, a father. He is loved. He is missed. Guys, he went missing July 11th. It's July 16th, a year later. That is too damn long. Okay? Let's share his missing persons poster all over social media. Use the hashtag justice for Brent. Guys, let's help this family bring their loved one home and get some answers. Guys, I told you that. I do want to thank you all for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next week. We will not have an episode of Midday Missing on Monday due to the fact I am going to Ohio this weekend. Lum and I will be doing a live show in Ohio at Blend of Seven Winery on Saturday. I don't get home until like 1 a.m. Monday, and I have to be in bed still sleeping. But guess what, guys? If you are a paid channel member, you will get to see the show streamed live. But guess what else, guys? There will also be live stream shenanigans all weekend long. Okay. Now, Kelly, I see that you say you will be there in spirit. Guys, I did Google a way that you can gift somebody directly a YouTube membership. It's a weird way to have to do it, but you have to either buy them and gift them a Google Play amount, and then you can message them the code. They can use that, redeem it, and pick the channel they want to subscribe to. Doesn't mean they would pick our channel, but guys, I have to tell you, our community, if you were to buy somebody a YouTube membership for our channel, they would definitely use it for our channel. I do not have any fear of that, okay? But also, we will not be having True Crime and Wine Time on Thursday night because, guys, guess what? We are getting ready for that live show, and there's a lot to go on behind the scenes. And as we know, I have so many surprises in store for all of our team that is getting together because we will be staying in an Airbnb. I have suggested to them that since some people in our community like to be creepy stalkers and watch Big Brother live feed while people sleep, that maybe we should set up a feed so y'all can watch us sleep. What do you think, guys? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, it could get us more members for people who like to stalk us, right? But I appreciate you all for being here. I do want to ask you, follow us on social media platforms to stay connected, be part of the conversation. Remember, you can catch all of Midday Missing on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page, and you can listen to it on your favorite podcast platform. Now, if you did not hit the little like button on your way in, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, let's do that because I'm still trying to understand it. And I'm really hoping Captain this weekend will explain it to me that there's some kind of math that goes into that. Oh, Kelly, so we were going to do the 8-year anniversary episode for Chase Lackey. Talk to his parents. We are postponing that due to the floods here in Texas. Um, there's still a lot of people missing that are actively being searched for. And we decided it was not the right time to do an update or give information about Chase. I can tell you there's a few updates. Some I can't give because we're trying not to damage the case. I can tell you that we are getting more solidified information that ASSHAT and POS are involved. And I have validated those things. And when I say involved, I mean they know what happened to Chase. But we are going to continue trying to get that information into our investigators' hands and doing some things. We will do an anniversary for Chase in August. Also, we will be doing a special live show in Crosby, Texas for Chase, where we will be covering it from soup to nuts. So, thank you so much for asking, Kelly. And thank you for the prayers for Texas. Guys, I live in the Austin area. It is awful what is going on here. And something I thought about last night, I didn't think about it last night, but I shared it last night when I was in a CERT meeting, that we think of the trauma that the families are going through, the communities and the first responders. What I didn't think of until I had a friend say to me, she was scared because she was taking her kid to summer camp this week. And because of what happened in Texas at Mystic, she's traumatized and doesn't want to let her child go to summer camp. And it made me realize the trauma extends so much farther than we think about. It doesn't just affect the community, it affects people in other states who have kids going off to summer camp or who are going away from home, because letting your loved one out of your sight, you never know what's going to happen. So when we pray for everyone, just I want to say, keep everyone in your thoughts. Send good vibes out there, especially to all of the first responders, because guys, I can tell you, as being an organization that we do search and rescue and we do those things, that is trauma that they will live with forever. One of our members last night, she has a nonprofit for animal rescue and they do disasters. She has been going and doing searching for animal remains so that she can get the remains back to the loving families who lost their dogs and cats and birds. And she was telling me about that trauma. So, and guys, this trauma isn't going to go away in a couple weeks. They are going to deal with this for the rest of their life. So I am so respectful to the Lackey family that they agree right now. Texas, we need to put everything out there for the families who are dealing with this right now. Um, and we'll come back to Chase. He's never forgotten. We're still working on it on the back end. But guys, I hope you all have a great time. I can say that I'm excited about this weekend. For those of you that are not paid channel members, I am sure after the alcohol's flowing, I can maybe convince Llama to go live for a little bit on our main feed. We'll just keep the shenanigans down to a low thing because we won't make y'all sign an NDA, right? What do y'all think about that? But I do appreciate you all being here today. Please go share the missing person posters from Midday Missing. Also, please sign that petition if you want to help. It's totally free. And as always, guys, until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and let's help these families bring their loved ones home. Bye, guys. Take care.